Shall I ask you?
He wants us to throw someone under the bus.
Let's ask him.
No. I've got something to say.
And I'm going to say, no, it was him. It was him.
What did you pick up? Anything
No,
from
I
his...
didn't pick up anything. So I just said, you know what you're doing.
Shall we start with Saturday, boys?
Might as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of the way.
So
It was a romper stomp of a night.
it was,
A day.
day and night, wasn't it? It was.
It was a good day.
So we went to went to watch the football, but you boys were there. You got there on time. You come first of all. I was running round after the kids. I went to watch both my boys, East London and West London.
Yeah,
you watched your boy in Manchester. So we done all that. Then we went to the big game, the Wayne Bridge derby.
Wayne Bridge derby.
Southampton
I was being
versus
a
Man
bit
City.
annoying, wasn't I?
Yeah.
That's why I did one up.
It's hilarious.
Do you know, my dad loves Saints, you know what I mean? Obviously started there and the whole box was City. And I just kept saying, no, it's meant to be. It's meant to be, innit?
Oh, mate.
Saints are going to end up winning it 50 years on.
Then
And City were like, they were dangerous, weren't they?
Yeah.
Very
And then we
dangerous.
broke and I said to you, watch this, we're going to score now.
Yeah, you lot made substitute. You made a couple of substitutes.
Yeah.
And he said it and he called it.
I called it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And then I celebrated a bit too early. I was running around the box.
Yeah, what was you thinking?
Called your dad. Called your
Called my
dad.
dad and everything. So I called my dad, he's buzzing. And then, I don't know, you had a feeling they were going to get a goal, didn't you?
Do you know what they look like, Man City? They look like, you know, when a boxer gets hit and he's like, I'm taking it seriously, and he comes back with a flurry.
Yeah.
He looked like, right, we're going to turn it on now.
Oh,
They
man.
bought
I
great
was-
finishes from
It
both.
was
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah, really good.
So obviously he was in the box with the superstar, right?
Yeah,
Liam, and he said he wears whenever he wears that jacket,
yeah.
it's got that CP company jacket
Yeah.
with Man City on back.
Yeah.
And he said, because whenever I wear this jacket, we win. Yeah. So he said he's undefeated. Right? I was like, "Look, Liam, mate, you lot win everything anyway. so you can wear any jacket you want and you still win. But he's like, he was cursing you.
Yeah.
He was cursing. He was saying, "Oh yeah, look at you. It was all fun and games."
Yeah.
But it was just like he starts running around.
I said, I've only watched about 5 games this year that I've been to, and every team I've wanted to win has won. So someone's O's got to go. And he was getting the ump.
He was getting the ump. But it was a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I had no dog in the race, but I just liked seeing them having a little bit of needle.
Yeah.
It was so good.
No,
And then
we gone 1-0 up, so we called my dad. He's absolutely buzzing. Then we obviously lose 2-1. He goes, yeah, call your dad, call your dad. I ain't calling my dad, we just lost.
I come in, because we were going to the Prodigy afterwards. We talk about that. But so I come with 20 minutes to go, and you lot clearly had a good day already.
Yeah,
the vibes were high.
Had a couple of drinks.
It was.
I tucked into a bit of lamb shank.
Did you?
Decent. Was it
Yeah.
lamb
What
shank? I think it
do
was.
you make of the food at Wembley? Because
What do you want me to
You obviously don't like it.
You don't like it, so why would you ask me that?
because I'm in the catering game as well. I can picture. I think for like I've been to stadiums. The
I
best.
think it's quite good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. But the best one I've been to is Leicester. Leicester have good grub,
Yeah.
and I might be biased, but Villa as well.
Yeah.
2 Midlands clubs. I know I've gone off piste a bit there.
Yeah.
Should we get back to the Prodigy?
Okay, so the
That was
day
amazing.
commences into the Prodigy now.
Yeah, so when we finished the game, we just went at
What did you-
event.
Like, because we was having a nice time in the box. But then when we went over the road, I didn't know what to expect because I've not seen them live because I missed them at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
I've not seen them live since Nebworth when I must have been 14.
Mm.
And it's a different vibe then. But that arena was amazing. There's the loudest thing. This is how you know it's too loud. 2 songs in, we're bouncing round. He's gone, it's a bit much this, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's
It is
breathing
a bit
much.
much. I was like, do you know what?
It doesn't help. We was right next to the speakers. So.
Yeah.
We was right
Also,
next to the speakers. What do you expect?
I used to love a bit of drum and bass, and I ain't done drum and bass for ages.
Yeah.
An event. Obviously, we've been to Fortet a few times.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
always plays
yeah.
a little bit of drum and bass.
Yeah.
But I was like, I forgot how mad it is.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I love a dance. I love jumping around. But I was thinking, they just put a little bit of a slower song on for it because my knees need a rest day.
Yeah, but that's because you get low.
Yeah.
How low does he get when you dance?
Mate,
You
you
squat it down. I'm like, he's just a little geezer.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But it's like so low. Why do you get so low when
I
you
dunno.
dance?
No
So
wonder
you
your knees are
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's happened.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Stop getting low then. No, it was wicked though, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was
such a
so
good time.
good. So
It
good.
is it was wicked.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, for the youngsters now, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell us if any youngsters listen to this, but like, it seemed like the older people in there were having it more than the young kids.
No, there was, if you look down, you saw a cyclone, a mosh pit.
Yeah, the mosh
And
pit
there was
was
a
good.
massive
going
one.
off,
There was a massive one. I was like, I'd like to get in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that at the beginning, but then because it was so intense, I was like, I'm pretty happy. I'm
You're not
pretty happy
getting old.
we're up here out of the way.
You're complaining about it's intense. You're complaining about the volume. What's going on with you two?
I loved it, right? But I was glad I had a bit of space to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
you're right.
mate.
We had a seat as well,
It's banging tunes constantly. You can't help but not move.
You're right.
Yeah.
But there was points I thought, I need a little rest here.
Yeah.
Do you know what was nice as well? When we went into the bar, we kindly got invited into was it like the friends and family, I suppose?
Yeah. No, I went to the friends and family. You lot, I don't know where you lot went.
Where was you? Where did you went?
Mate, I was in there with the friends and family.
Right, okay.
So we went to a different spot.
Yeah, there was two. There was.
Oh, is there?
It was where Liam's from the
Prodigy.
band, Prodigy. I went into his gaff.
You just get everywhere, didn't you?
And then I got a phone call that says, "Oh, you're in the wrong place." So I was with his friends and family. I was talking to, I think, his mum. I
Really?
was just chilling.
Yeah.
And then they gave me some champagne and everything. I was like, oh, this is nice. Waiting for you lot. Then you told me that, no, we're upstairs. So I was like, I'm in the wrong place.
I can't remember how we got there.
I had to go up the stairs. Oh, mate. We just get about in it.
There was good tunes in
the
the
contrast. Yeah, the contrast, because you had the Prodigy drum and bass. Then you went in, the DJ was playing ska and reggae.
Yeah.
And it was a mellow vibe.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was
a nice little cruise down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good, man.
I needed that. I needed a bit of relaxation.
So just to clarify, Liam was Gallagher in the box, and Liam from Prodigy, you crept into his into his party. So
mate, I was around a lot of Liams on Saturday, innit? So yeah, good time.
The reason I called it overnight, because I was having a wicked time. I was working the next day. Obviously, I had a bit of work in the morning. I had to go and watch these young kids who'd that's a scouting app thing, and I promised them I'd go there and watch them, and so went all the way out. But when I come back to Chelsea, I went straight into the Chelsea versus Leeds game, and it was a little bit worse for wear. But I was getting, but you know, it's a big game. It does lift you a little bit.
You got up for it
because Chelsea and Leeds have got that rivalry from the 1970s. Yeah. I mean, if you've played it, like it's one of them. So we started the game, and like every time Chelsea play Leeds in a big game, the television companies, they refer back to the 1970 Cup final, which is referred to. It's the dirtiest cup final, maybe the dirtiest
Ron Harris,
game. Billy Bremner, Ron Harris. It was basically just prison rules. It was like the ref just gone, whatever you want to do, you do. They're kicking lumps out of each other, smashing each other. And we showed some of the tackles, and we got Ali McCoist onto the, and Coisty remembers watching it as a kid, because he's a bit older than us, Coisty, and he was salivating with the tackles, and Stevie G was there watching the game, and it's like, it felt like proper football. Do you know what I mean? Mm. And one of the interesting things was Michael Oliver re-refereed the game, and I think in the 1970 FA Cup final there was one yellow card dished out. Michael Oliver said there was 8 red cards when he re-refereed it by today's standards. Wow. So it shows you how much the game has changed.
Well, if you think about it, when you speak to older players that weren't playing when we were playing, you meet as you go around the stadiums, they always say how soft it is. Mm. Imagine how soft they think it is now.
God, yeah, I know.
Because it does feel like that every so often. It just gets a bit softer.
More sanitised, every touch. In the game, at one point, I was doing the game, and did you see the hair pull by mate? Lewin. I'm like, and so because when I'm commentating on the games, Cole, you'll know you get the producer in your ear, so you can hear VAR if you want to, right? So you know if there's been an incident before the stadium does, like, so I hear they're checking something. So it was Calvert-Lewin and Cucurella, right? So I hadn't seen anything going. So you're in the stadium. My job's to watch the game intently. So I try and I like to think I'm across everything. If I see things, like, I didn't see nothing, right? And then VR, oh, there's a hair pull.
Wow.
And then you look at the screen and it's like nothing. It's like, it's like nothing. Sort of, when sometimes you're grabbing shirt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hair with Cucurella, isn't there?
know,
Any in that vicinity, you're grabbing hair.
Well, he's got that problem. I don't, so I wouldn't know.
So, but it was like a brush. It was like a caress of the hair.
Was it a little bit like the Martinez sending off?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm bringing it back to that because it made it. It jumped out at me because we just watched the 1978 Cup final and we'd all enjoyed the football and the tackling and the bite and they was up in each other's face. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, someone's touched Cucurella's hair and a potential red card VAR. I'm like, what's going on, mate?
Oh, come on.
So, I mean...
Come on, mate. Like, do you know what? Listen, we don't have that problem. Like, obviously, we never had the problem. We never had long hair.
Yeah.
Well, you did for a bit.
I had long hair, No one pulled it, though.
No one pulled it?
No.
Oh, well, the thing about it, when that's happening, if you felt your hair being tugged, are you going down or are you going to complain? You won't really complain.
No.
But they do now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why the games are so sanitized and they're getting trying to get every inch and margin to win the game and get someone sent off. I think it's bad. Yeah, I think it's bad. I think that's like foul. I think that's foul play, trying to get another fellow pro sent off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that. I don't know about you lot.
What do you think, Bridgey? I'm with you.
I feel like it's part of the game. I've only ever done something like that once.
Go on.
And I think that comes from probably more Mourinho. Remember, that side of the game. Like I remember Abue tapped me on the back of the head, but it was nothing. I actually went down probably about 3 seconds later after it hit me.
Really? So what was in your mind when you was thinking? Because I know Jose used to like the dark arts.
It's Arsenal, and he likes the dark art. He likes the dark arts thing, doesn't he? He likes if you go down, he wants you to go down. I've only done that once, and that was that. And they didn't actually send Abue off. They sent Adebayor off.
Did they?
Yeah, they got it mixed up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I used to hate playing against him. He used to wind me up. Like he's supposed to be a nice, supposed to be a nice lad, but to play against him, he's annoying.
Why?
Niggly and gets away with stuff. That really annoys me. So when I went down, I thought, he's getting sent off. And I'm going to say, no, it was him.
Oh my god!
Jose used to always say, English players too honest.
Yeah, basically.
Too honest because you have to remember it's a cultural thing. They talk about with pride. Argentina, right? You know, with Maradona's handball, they're more proud of that than the goal, the beautiful goal he scored, because that's the street urchin. He's the English. Remember, the English are seen as the sort of
gentlemen,
the conquerors, and things like that. So he's the street urchin, and he's robbed us. And in their culture, I hope I'm not offending anyone, because this, from what I understand, from in their culture, that's like, we've stiffed you, basically.
There's so many players that are good at stuff like I used to hate playing against Italian teams. Because it actually winds you up. Yeah. Because they can leave a bit on you. A bit like when I played against Cafu, mate, he was horrible. Yeah. Like he'd leave a bit on you. Yeah, when you touch him, next to him, and he does it so well, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Didier had a bit of that in him.
Yeah,
Didier was theatrical, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he used to go down, and we'd all just be waiting. He's going to get up in a minute. Just hurry up. He was so good at it, wasn't he?
It's because when I look at him, though, I looked at him, I think, because obviously I had to study his game because he was the best of my ilk of striker. So I watch him and I'll be like, I ain't doing that. That's like, it's all arms in the air. He's got his hair. His hair's like flowing. I'm like, mate, I know. The geezer's just like, he's made that, he's cut out for this. I couldn't put myself, because there's a few managers that told me, when you get in the box, you go past your man and you get touched, go down. Yeah. And I'm thinking, that's cheating, isn't it? Yeah. But I want to stay on my feet and try and get to the end of it. But that's not, as the game went on, people were starting to realise, well, if you stay on your feet, you're a mug.
You get nothing for it.
You get nothing for it.
It's part of the game, innit? But you think he must have been horrible to play against, because you think he'd bully you because he's that strong. But you do one little thing and then he could just make him in a bit and get a free kick.
He was always in charge. He was always in charge. When he wanted to be strong,
he was strong.
Bang, you're not moving. What if the ball's coming, he's so clever, because if the ball was coming and he thought, that's a real tough touch. Yeah, I can see him come. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Hair
he was
on the floor, holding it. But he was brilliant at it. He was the best at it.
But, so Calvert-Lewin is probably the closest to something like that. How did he get on yesterday?
Calvert-Lewin didn't get enough service yesterday. and that's the one. He was competent. He had one chance. The only time Leeds created a chance, the ball's got played into him, and he turned it around the corner to Aronson. It's actually the pivotal moment of the game. Into Calvert-Lewin, lovely touch around the corner. Aronson's in on goal. Sanchez, great save.
With his foot, didn't he? Yeah.
Games are always about moments. We talk about tactics and everything, but games are about moments. And then, and after that, Chelsea just got more and more in control.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed because obviously we need to talk about the chaos that's going on. But first of all, you need to give the flowers. I thought Enzo Fernandez, who's had a difficult week, was outstanding. Scored the goal.
Yeah.
It was Lampard-esque in the way he sort of.
Yeah, I saw.
He was a brilliant run. He took Justin. You know when you run into the box from midfield, you don't just run blind.
No.
You're timing. He's timed to take him to the front post and just far post.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a beautiful goal.
Was it? Yeah.
And Chelsea were good for it. Okay, so that was my take on the game, but let's take it back to earlier on in the week when the madness started at Chelsea. Yeah. We saw the owner give Liam the vote of confidence in an AGM or board meeting of one of his other companies publicly. 3 days later, Liam gets the sack. First of all, what do you make of that, Bridgey? Like, he's been in the job 3 months. Maybe.
Well, that's just football, isn't it? I think that people have come out and say stuff whether they really mean it or not. I think it happens a lot in football. I don't think people say what they really mean. Sometimes they say what they think they should say. But I don't know with him. I'm like, can you blame him? Maybe, but then you've got the way the club's run. Like I look at it now. Look at the way we've always talked about Tottenham. It's always above, like the way it's run up above. And I feel like that's how I feel a little bit about Chelsea at the moment. The problem is the way they're running the club.
Yeah, but not every club's talk alike. Like Tottenham's, because they've not won anything, and the issues, and they're underachieved. And the problem seems to be that. And now the problem, we're talking about Chelsea, but at Liverpool, it's not over the last 6 years, or Man City. Nobody's talking about the board. I don't even know the directors. I don't know the names of them because everything's smooth there. They're just letting the everyone get on with it. Do you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like that's happening at Chelsea, though, does it?
Yeah,
or does it?
No, I clearly come out and said, Coley, we had the points per game since Blueco took over. So Blueco took over, and don't quote me exactly, but it was like Chelsea were averaging 1.93 points per game, and it got progressively worse, and they had a little one where it was a couple of years ago where it was 1.83 points per game, but it's still been underneath the standard of when they took over, plus they spent 1.8 billion. So clearly they're in a situation now where they've chosen a methodology to go forward, and this is our route, this is what we're going to do. It's clearly not working, and sometimes the hardest thing to do in the world is to go, you know what, we've made a mistake, we need to pivot here, get football people in. I liken it to, they've got a lot of expertise in the room of, they've got financial expertise, they've got recruitment expertise it's particularly in the young players academy, right? But there's no one in there with footballing wisdom at the top level who can say, right, this is what's going to happen. If you give these players 8-year, 10-year contracts, this is what their mindset's going to be when things are going bad. And this is what their mindset's going to be when things are going well. So Enzo Fernandez, for instance, right? He has been Chelsea's best player. His stars rising. He's looking at, he's gone beyond Chelsea to a certain degree. He's like looking around going, I want to be winning trophies. Do you know what I mean? So, but I've got 4 or 5 years left on my contract. And then it becomes, you have an unhappy player in you, a core player unhappy. And then how do you deal with that? So then they'll go, well, let's ban him for 2 games. I'm just like,
that doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense.
So basically, someone like that Enzo,
right?
Like, see, like their module, their plan on how they're gonna do things, and they're being a development. It's like a development club, because they're going young. Yeah. So obviously, you've got this module that lasts a certain amount, and once the player starts to blossom, right, which Enzo is now, what do you do to keep him happy? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he's now looking at it thinking, I need to win things now because I'm getting older. Yeah. I know they see me as a leader, but he's going to want out because they're not winning enough, or they're not challenging for the best trophies. Champions League, Premier League. He wants to win that because he's seen the history of Chelsea. That's what spurred him on to come.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to be the senior statesman in the dressing room saying, well, you lot follow me. So because he knows that it's not good enough because he's going to have to wait a few years until them other players catch him up and blossoms. So basically what's happening now is that he's going to want to leave now because he wants to go somewhere that's of the same standard as him. And not him being the best player, but him pushing on to be even better.
Yeah, people dragging him up to get even better.
That's what he's probably looking at from a sports psychology point of view. But they haven't thought about that part. Yeah. You're right. They haven't thought about that part.
At the start of it, I go, look, okay, this sounds good, and you're spreading the finances over 7-8 years, and it balances the books and whatnot. And you need someone in the room going, but this is what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And that is like it's like a disease within a squad. You've been in you must have been in squads when you've had unhappy players who want to leave. Can you remember that in your career?
Yeah.
And sometimes they can, because they get their agents in their ear. They can get toxic. They get agents in their ear, and then they play the silly games. You know, I'm not saying he is. I don't know what's going on, but it's like that's when you need a strong manager. You know, with a relationship with the players. It's almost a personal relationship. So it's like, listen, if I was managing Enzo and it was a normal routine, I'd be saying, listen, Enzo, we're not where we thought we'd be when you signed, right? But you're my guy. You're with us, right? This is your team. It's your family for now. Come with me till the end of the season. Don't say that nonsense when you go away. Don't listen. Maybe get the agent involved, and you go, right, we'll get to the summer and we'll all rethink and sit down and what we're going to do, and we'll have a good chat then. But I think by sort of banning him, like, you naughty boy.
But why? Like, they need him.
Absolutely.
So you need him. So why are you even banning him for 2 games? Like you said, sit down and have a chat with him. Manager, have a chat with him, or have a proper chat with him and smooth things out. Just banning him for 2 games. Like, what are you doing?
I know Liam when they said it was a group decision with Liam as football manager. Your name, you're the fall guy, right? If you lose games, no one's the fans are hammering you. The fans just turn up. They pay their money. We can be as emotional as we want. We say, well, and you know what I mean? But Liam's thinking, I would really like Enzo Fernandez on the pitch against Man City, watching how well he played yesterday and what a leader he was. And fair play to him. Like, he said what he said. He come in and he's done it. I just think it's just the whole thing was a mess. Listen, that's the Enzo situation. That's a mess. Liam's gone. But there's a lot of criticism from people. The performance against Brighton away, as opposed to the spirit and the fight and the performance on Sunday, and like it must be hard for fans to comprehend a team can be there and then there, and the only difference is a manager's walked out the door. I mean, what's your opinion on it, Bridgey, when things like that happen?
Well, I think with Liam, I think most people are surprised he got the job.
Yeah,
I think most people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't really know too much about him. I know he's obviously managed some teams, but you wouldn't say they've played that great since he's been there. They've got some good results, right? But they've not been that great. But I think most of Chelsea fans I spoke to are not happy, right? And I'm just like, why? Why have they not gone for someone else with
before Liam? You mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think the criticism coming in, Coley, was he was in the building effectively because he was Strasbourg manager.
He was ready to go.
Cheaper option as well.
So cheaper option.
So I mean, what's your thoughts?
Obviously, you find him very talented.
Liam.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
So when he was at Strasbourg, he was doing really well there. So they was thinking, okay, like Maresca wants to go. So what do we do now? We've got a ready-made manager over there. Because remember, even when Maresca come to Chelsea, he hadn't really had any credit in the bank either.
Championship, Leicester.
Yeah, but it's so. But they're saying they're probably looking at him thinking,
giving people a chance.
Do you know what I mean? At the same time, save a little bit of money.
Yeah,
it's under our banner anyway.
Yeah,
so it makes sense just to bring him in, draft him in.
Yeah,
but no one can talk about obviously us giving Liam a chance and us giving Maresca a chance because it's the same thing, really. Yeah, he did well at Leicester, but so did Liam. Liam done well where
Yeah.
he's been,
Strasbourg, yeah.
Strasbourg, and he done well when he was in the Championship. I think he was unfairly dismissed at Hull.
Yeah.
So there was a load of things that
I guess he done well at Strasbourg.
Yeah, he
the
did.
Players
Yeah.
liked him
the
as
players
well.
like,
but
so, and that's probably half of the what the Strasbourg
Mm.
are in agreement with as well, because you're just saying you're taking our best manager
Yeah.
and you're just taking it for yourself
Yeah.
for the Premier League. So that's the whole protest as well. On you're just using and abusing us.
Yeah.
But then it's an offer that he could Liam himself couldn't refuse.
Of course.
He had to go. He couldn't say, "Oh no, I'm not ready yet."
Yeah.
You get offered that, you go with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You
And
get the train
especially-
ticket, you get on it.
You go.
Yeah. Okay, so the mind of a player for fans of we're the dressing room podcast. So we're going to take you to the dressing room. What is a new manager bounce in your opinion, Bridgey? You've seen it where players. I have my opinion. I think personally, there's always unhappy players within a squad. So that's it. And if you haven't got a strong core, you get more unhappy players. Or at least they're outwardly showing it. And then, so when a manager goes, everyone comes into work.
everyone's got a second chance.
And everyone
haven't
goes,
they? Yeah.
I'm going to go this again. You also get, when you have something like this Enzo Fernandez situation where players feel aggrieved by how he's been treated, because the players don't care what he said. The team don't care. We've had it before.
They might
When
come in and
players
go, "What are you
say
saying that
stupid
for?"
things. Yeah, exactly. Players don't care. As long as they know he's fighting for them. So it's a bigger deal for everyone around the club. But the most important people at the club are the players and the squad, right? And I've worked with players where they've gone away with international duty and they've said something stupid about the club, but they wanted to leave. And you come in and you just have a laugh and joke about it. It's actually like it's irrelevant. But the only time you pull someone as a player is if you think they're not pulling their weight in training. And if you've got a good group, the players will do that. The manager won't even have to do it. The fact that the ownership have stepped in and felt the need to discipline one of the big leaders in the group is irrelevant. But the manager bounce is a real thing, right? It happens all the time.
Well, I've seen it happen and go positively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Nottingham Forest, for instance.
Yeah.
They've had 4 managers this season.
Yeah.
And they've just been trying to get the bounce. Trying to bounce the ball. It's just been flat. so someone's pumped up the ball now. It's actually bouncing. So they're doing well.
Yeah.
I've been in the other ship where we really loved the manager, but the results weren't coming our way.
Yeah.
And new manager comes in and the whole place is deflated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to, when you are, like, we've got to talk to these, the owners, when you're employing somebody, it's not about what you think or how it looks to you. It's about what's in that dressing room.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, we're not robots. We have feelings too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're like, as soon as he walks in, I've said this before, the first impressions,
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
And that just takes 10% away from you and what you do out on that pitch. And I'm not saying it's like we're doing it on purpose. It's like, I don't get the tactics. I don't get how he speaks. He doesn't gel with the group.
Yeah.
So it's just not going to work. Do you know what I mean? But upstairs in the boardroom, they don't see that part.
Yeah.
So you have to get that cohesion right.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that, right? I agree with you 100%, right? But then, how, we've seen a player power shift, and does the board speak to the because it's never happened to me. Maybe I've never been in the leadership group effectively in a club. I don't know, but I've never had the actually when I was at West Ham, I think maybe it happened. It come up once, but do you go and speak to the players say, well, what are you thinking of the manager? And do you know what I mean? I don't like that direct ownership to players thing, but I think there should be something in between where you get your fingers on the post.
Sporting director's job.
Yeah.
He's the one that's supposed to be in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the connection between the board, the dressing room, and the team. So he is, and effectively, it should always be. I think it should always be an ex-pro.
Yeah, I do as well.
That's relatable because you've been in that position. Okay, that's the board. I know their way of thinking, but at the same time, I've got to connect that with. So, what's the best manager? What's the best manager at the time? What we need for that bounce, or what's the best option out there to get that cohesion right?
Yeah. So
we know this manager's going to come in and do the business. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And there's got to be that train of thought all the way through the club.
Well, they've had the bounce. They clearly they clearly have a feeling for Calum McFarlane.
Yeah, they like him.
They see, I spoke to him after the game. You know, I'd never spoke to him, and his interview before the game, I thought, listen, and it's understandable. He's stepping into the spotlight. He's been Croydon manager and working in academy football.
Croydon,
right? Yes. big up the South London massive, right? So this is a huge jump, right? And I was speaking to some Chelsea fans, and I had to put them straight because he's like, oh, Calum McFarlane, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, listen, the kid's clearly a strong dreamer. He's gone from there to there. Do you know what I mean? In a short period of time. And whatever you say, he's managing Chelsea Football Club at this moment, and he's took him to the FA Cup final. So you have to give him his time. And listen, and I like the story, right? It ain't perfect. They're used to seeing Carlo Ancelotti's and Jose Mourinho's and Conte's and all that. But this kid's come and he's got his chance and he's taken it. But before the game, he spoke, right? And I thought he sounded a bit nervous. He was talking to Jules, and we get the interviews before they go out. And he said, she asked him, how important is this game? And he's like, yeah, we need to get a positive result. It's a big game, but there's 4 more big games in the league. I'm like, no. When as a manager, you've got to sell the product, right? Whatever that game is, there's a reason to win that game. If it's the 3rd round of the League Cup, you'll be selling it to the players like, listen, this is a chance for 4 or 5 of you. You know, I believe in you. You've trained really well. Don't go out. Do you know what I mean? You motivate him, but he sort of like, it was a bit wishy-washy. And I was like, oh, I don't like that. But then the team started, and I thought that it was excellent. And one thing I picked up on what he'd done, and he got it for the goal. So under Liam, we watched the Leeds versus Chelsea games previously, and they'd done so good at setting traps and pressing, right? And you know, like under Liam and Enzo as well, so very build-up based. And Leeds stepped onto Chelsea, and they won the ball, and they scored a couple of goals, right? And then Sanchez, that's Leeds, they stepped out from a back 5, pressed onto Chelsea, getting ready to press because they're thinking, we've seen this picture before, we've won. Sanchez has gone bang into Pedro. He lost the duel with Struijk, the centre half. Bang, lovely bit of quality, and there's a goal, right? And then after the game, I spoke to Calum, and he was like, yeah, we worked on that. Do you know what I was like? Okay, so that's smart. He's using a football brain. And then the interview afterwards, he warmed into it. You know, imagine it's one of his first big interviews as a manager. He's standing there, he's got Steven Gerrard. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And we're talking to him, and he warmed in. It's daunting. Like, listen, we're all humans, right? And he handled it really well. And, you know, you're like, you can't help. I just think you can't help but root for him now. Yeah. But I still don't think he'll be the next Chelsea full-time manager. No. So I suppose the question is, like, where do they go? Where do they go from there?
I've not got a clue because it's like,
I think they've run out of options, didn't they?
It depends if they've are they going to go and get a top manager, or are they going to try and
Glasner
give someone a chance again because it's less money? I don't know.
Glasner's a good shout because he's not in that bracket where he's top.
No,
he'd still look at the Chelsea job and go,
yeah,
that's a step up from Frankfurt and Palace. Yeah. But I think you if you're a Chelsea manager, unless they're going to throw money at it, and I think the money's run out. As much as whatever noises you come out, whatever PR you come out, for Chelsea fans, there ain't going to be hundreds and hundreds of millions spent this summer. It just can't. It financially doesn't make sense, right? So they've got to find somebody who can get a grip. So Glasner's a good shout, and he would want it. Don't even look at the top managers like Luis Enrique's if he's leaving, or you know, I threw Xabi Alonso's name in because of how well he's done, but even him. Cesc is another one, but you're still giving a manager who's a young manager, inexperienced.
Glasner is the level.
But with Cesc more than anyone knows what elite football looks like. So it's not like Liam, who's coming in as a young manager, or Enzo played at Juventus, didn't he? But he was there for a brief period of time. I don't think he played for. Cesc was one of the best players we've seen in the league. Yeah. So I think the Cesc one is interesting because he might be in the right. He might be in the right. He might be. You've been at a few weddings with him.
I hated playing against him. He was annoying, wasn't he? He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Anyone that's good and annoying. Anyone that's good, they're just annoying. You're giving me a hard time.
Did you get on with him at the wedding?
Yeah, great lad. He got on really well. Yeah,
he
sorted my mates out some tickets.
I saw him in Como and he was bigging you up.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's a good lad.
Oh right, he's friend of the pod. Then we get him on.
We'll get him on. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
mate. I don't because I'd rather take him than Liam. If I'm totally honest, he said Cesc.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
So,
and I think because he was such an intelligent footballer as well.
Yeah.
So intelligent.
Yeah, he was a great player.
And look, I went to Como, so with him, I went into Como doing this thing with the FA, and then he invited us over.
Yeah.
So there was obviously going to the match, but he invited us into the dressing room.
Really?
And into the office and everything, and then we looked at how his thoughts are of the game.
Really?
And how he wants to structure it, and it was quite interesting. He's a very intricate guy.
What did you pick up? Anything
no,
from
I
his...
didn't pick up anything. But I just said, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. I can't remember all that.
So he was in control. That's good enough. It give you in vibe. He's in control. Because I've been with managers, and they're trying to tell you what, and you're like,
I think that's sure.
That's something. I can see that he knew what he was doing. Enough. And then everything he done, we was watching the game on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And I saw it come alive on the pitch.
Really?
So, yeah, it was really good. He was playing in Poly.
Yeah. We must have all had managers where they're in control.
Yeah.
You can see it.
But then you come across ones where you're like,
yeah.
They got a Scooby?
Yeah.
Do they know what they're doing? Do we know what we're doing? Do you know what I mean?
I've seen a few.
It happens.
I know. There's been a few.
But that's going back to what we was talking about before, about the manager bounce. So you've got to buy into the gaffer as soon as does he actually know what he's doing? That is what it is.
Yeah.
Listen, players now are very educated.
Yeah.
They could even be managed.
They test you.
They test you.
Yeah.
They're educated because they've got all the thing on their phone. They know about tactics. And it's not like in our day that if you have to go and search for it, you just trust in the manager.
Yeah.
But now you can start asking questions on how why is that? Why do I have to go and stand there?
Yeah.
Why not here? Because this has worked for me before. So why are you telling me to go there? Or close that player? So they're being tested now, managers, and that's probably what's happened to Liam.
Yeah.
Because some of these boys are like, well, I played at the highest level and I've never seen that what you're trying to ask of me. I just don't. I'm not having it. And then that's when it starts to go back. Yeah. And then you're like, and then Liam starts to cave in because he's never been asked these questions before. Yeah. You never know. That's probably what happened.
There's a good chance that's what happened. And you got to be strong. Just a quick one because I thought this is important to talk about. Managers giving off that vibe of lose control. Was there anyone, or they're not in control? Is there anyone in your career you can think of, or you want that, and what reasons was it? Because there's always a reason. I remember this. No, yeah, I like.
You obviously want to get off your chest.
No, I'm not. No. And this is like this is.
Why are you asking us? You know what you want to ask. Shall I ask you?
He wants us to throw someone under the bus.
Let's ask him.
No. I've got something to say.
Say it. Say it with chest.
I wonder if it's going to be the same as me.
No. So and I like this man, and he had a.
Disclaimer.
No, he had a good. No, you don't. You don't.
Okay.
You played for him, but you don't know. And he had a good career as a manager, but the job that he was in was too early for him. Okay. Looking back now, right? So it was Steve McLaren, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great coach, one of the best number twos I've worked with. Yeah, he had a great way with players.
Yeah.
And he went on and done a great guy. And then he went on and had a good career as a manager. But he's probably arguably his best stuff was when he was number 2 at Manchester United on 2 occasions, and number 2 of England. He's really good, right? But you talk about things that make you think a manager has lost control, not as in control as think. We played a game. Remember, we had Bill Beswick, the sports psychologist, and there's nothing wrong with sports psychologists. I think they're an important part of the game. But I was walking in, and for some reason I was late in at half time. We must have been, I can't remember what game it was, difficult result. And I walked past and I caught the back end of a conversation with him and Bill, and it was like he was asking Bill what he should say or what he should do, and that's okay. But have that conversation, and if you want to bounce it off someone, it was a player caught the end of the conversation. And your head's frazzled because you're coming in, you're playing for England. You probably got booed. You probably got booed off because there's obviously something. And then you go and you sit down, and I'm like, and then he comes in and says it, and I'm like, and I think
I'm not having that. It's manufactured.
No conviction. Do you know what I mean? And I've got nothing. But I'm just thinking. So it's always an incident like that for me where I think a manager's
because it's got to come from your heart. If you're going to go and battle a player or something, you don't go to the sports psychologist. It's got to come from your heart. So, what should I do? What should I say? That just means you don't know what to do. And then as a player, you'll just start questioning everything he does. It's like, how is he? Does he believe in what he's doing right now? You know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a manager, but
Yeah.
he's probably asked the sports psychologist, how do I not affect the players?
Yeah.
And I want it to come out in a positive way, but I want to say this.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm very
if
much
you're
like you
hearing,
say it from your
I know
chest.
you're like that,
Yeah.
so that would affect someone. And everyone's different. Everyone's different. Someone might hear that. Someone like me, I'll be like, well, fair play to him. He's just winging it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'll wing it with him too. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'll have a go. But the only thing we can do is give our best as a player.
Chelsea mayhem. They're in another FA Cup final. Manchester City just it keeps going. Really looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
Hope we're all there in some capacity. I'll be working.
It's the Bridgey derby again.
The Bridgey derby.
Yeah.
Bridgey's got to be there. Right, but listen, we need to go from the FA Cup semi-final to the bottom of the incredible story. Let's just run you through this timeline, boys. 52nd minute, West Ham go 1-0 up against Everton. As it stands, they're 4 points clear of Spurs, who are drawing at Wolves. Then a mad 8 minutes. From the 82nd minute, Spurs score against Wolves. With the tables as you were, both West Ham and Spurs winning. Spurs are back in the relegation zone. West Ham 2 points clear. Everton score, so it's 1-1 in 88 minutes. Spurs leapfrog West Ham and come out of relegations on goal difference. 92nd minute. I'm really pleased with this lad. Callum Wilson scores for West Ham and then moves them out of the relegation zone. And it was just complete mayhem. As it stands now, West Ham are on 36 points. Spurs are on 34 points. 39 points has been enough to survive in the previous 15 seasons.
Wow.
That's for a West Ham man.
Yeah.
I know, like Mick and everyone, our pals, the West Ham people. It was a roller coaster at the weekend, and the emotions, and there's still 4 games to play. And what did you think, Coley?
I had the best day ever.
Yeah,
You had a great day.
I had a great day.
West Ham win, City in the box, Prodigy.
I'm only.
No wonder you was on good form.
Yeah.
The best version of you was out on Saturday.
He was bouncing.
I kept looking back.
Do you know what?
Do you know he had the little thing? He had the thing dabbing the head on Prodigy.
Yeah.
I
It's
need
hot in there. It's hot
the
in
pen.
there.
The panel because it gets hot in there.
It's hot. Yeah.
But nah, man, it was so good. What a day! So I've obviously gone up to Manchester to see my son play.
Yeah.
And he played really well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was really happy with that. Get on the train again.
Yeah.
I got on the train from
We need to get you a deal with
Piccadilly
Virgin.
to Euston. And then from Euston...
Can't really miss your stop on that one either, can you? It ends there. You're all right. You just got to get off at the train stops.
From Euston into Wembley Park.
Yeah.
Trotted over. And see you in there, innit?
Yeah.
But then on the train, I'm looking at live score.
Right. Okay.
Right. And then as I looked at it, it flicked to 2-1.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my days. I started going like that on the train. Yes! I looked like a complete madman, yeah. Luckily I was with someone because I'd have done the same thing even if I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And everyone's looking at me like that. And I'm thinking, yeah, man. We've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it. And then I've looked at my phone again and I'm getting loads of texts now. Saying, you jammy Dodgers.
Yeah.
You lot, how have you got out of it?
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is what we do. But looking back at that game, right? I had it down as I don't mind Spurs winning because obviously they're playing Wolves and Wolves are at the bottom of the table. Nothing to really play for. But they made hard work of it. But at the same time, I looked at it and I thought, I don't mind them winning, but we have to win too.
Yeah.
But what does that do psychologically for a Spurs fan or the players at Spurs, when they're thinking we could get out of here because Everton should be beating West Ham, but they don't. They lose to us. Psychologically,
the penalty thing at the end as well. The handball.
And the handball, everything.
Yeah.
Says, this is just not our year.
Right, that's deflated.
It's deflated. It's so deflated. Because if that happened to me, I'd be like, well, we tried our best.
Yeah.
It's just not working. The gods are not with us.
It does feel that way. Like the universe is trying to tell Spurs.
You need to go down.
You need to go.
Pack your bags.
Because another thing at the weekend is Solanke and Xavi Simons. As of today, you hear he's done his ACL.
Yeah.
So like he was just coming into a bit of form.
Yeah, he was. He was their best player for quite a while.
Yeah.
For a couple of days.
I mean, you do start thinking, and this got the referee call of no penalty in check.
Oh mate.
I mean, what did you make of that? I mean,
look,
I just
You
don't
leave yourself
care.
open when you're grabbing him anyway.
Yeah.
But it does.
Grabbing and hitting the
I've got to
ball.
I've got to be honest. It did look like he peered over his shoulder and went like that. It didn't it? And I was like,
Don't get me wrong,
ooh.
we're happy it never got given. But how it got given, I do
how
not
it didn't
know.
get given, mate. Like, so there's so much drama in that day. And when you come out on top, it's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's like we needed a bit of luck.
Do you know-
And it's come for. And Jared Bowen has been unbelievable
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
He
yeah.
put 2 on the plate for us, so we're all right.
Yeah. Jared Bowen, man. Yeah, he looks like.
He looks like he wants to go to the World Cup.
Yeah, mate.
He
Listen, I
looks
think-
like he wants to go to the World Cup, mate.
For me, you would take him all day.
All day of the week.
All day, because he's quality.
Direct.
He's direct. He scores goals. If you give him 5 minutes,
Yeah.
he's giving you his heart
Yeah,
for
yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you give him the whole game, he's giving you everything. So
Yeah.
for me, you'd take him. But just going back to like it was so good, so exciting, so much twists and turns. Now we've got 4 games to go, right?
I've
And
got something to say on that.
really,
Yeah.
what do you think? Speak to me.
I'm not saying, I'm not ruling for us that.
Wow.
Nah. Because the only reason I'm not saying, it's a bit far-fetched,
Yeah.
but they've got 2 extra games.
They
Europa
got
League.
Europa League
Against
semi-finals against Villa,
Villa, that's it, sorry.
which is massive.
And they got Chelsea coming up as well.
Yeah, they got Chelsea away. They got
So you've got, mate,
Newcastle, Man United away. So really,
it's a tough run.
yeah, that's a good shout there actually, because
Mate, it's a tough run. And if we win our games, or Spurs win their games as well, remaining, then, mate, they're back in it.
Yeah.
well,
Well, not going to win every game, but just, they got to keep on winning for us not to catch them.
but they're flying, mate. I don't know what.
Listen, mate, 5-0
Away as well, by the way.
Yeah,
They've
5-0
been good,
against
though.
Sunderland away. I didn't see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. But at the same time, it does look great for them. So even the fans have got to say, we're safe now. You would say that.
Yeah,
But you're still not. You're still in it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not full time yet.
well, just looking at Spurs talking to Spurs fans. The Villa game at the weekend's crucial, right? Now, the reason why Spurs have got a good record against Villa. Villa have got the semi-finals either side of the game, and Villa are not playing. Villa had a bad result against Fulham, so I think it's this weekend, Coley. I think if Spurs go and beat Villa, I think they're alive. I really do. I think they're alive. But if they don't win, and I'm even saying this, if they only get a point at Villa, I'll be happy to go. They're goners.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they ain't going to Chelsea and getting anything. That never happens. And the Leeds at home.
When's the last time we got something at Chelsea?
It's a long time, mate. You know, and regardless of the season that Chelsea are having,
You'll still win.
that game will be second last of the game of the season.
And Chelsea would want to put them down.
Yeah, of course they would.
They would love to do that. Speaking to Jason Cundy.
Yeah.
I'd love to put them down.
Yeah, that'd be a good shout. That talk show after that day.
man.
Do you
Very
reckon
funny.
the players at Chelsea feel that?
Yeah.
The Tottenham
They
thing?
know.
You reckon you do?
They know.
do.
You know, it's culture.
Yeah.
You feel the vibes straight
there's-
away.
yeah.
You know, remember when...
Oh, no, yeah. When I just wonder if they feel it
Yeah.
now sometimes.
What do you reckon that is, right? Because, like, it was growing up, it was Arsenal Spurs, but when Chelsea and Spurs have always had this needle. They're quite like
Weird.
Chelsea are close to Fulham, Brentford, Arsenal.
It's just always them.
It's just that where do you reckon it comes from?
I don't know what the history is behind
Yeah.
it, but I know that Abramovich added the fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was supposed to buy Chelsea first.
Yeah, he flew over Tottenham.
Flew over
didn't
Tottenham. He was supposed to buy Spurs first. Then obviously he flew over Tottenham, said I want that, and then obviously something happened with the deal, and he got upset.
he? Yeah.
They didn't want to do any deals with Spurs, so there's that
Yeah.
history in it, and I think it even goes stems further back.
Yeah.
I need to find out what it is.
We had a
Actually,
brick
That'd be
through
nice.
the coach window. Remember?
That was West Ham.
was that West Ham? Was
Yeah.
it? I thought it was Tottenham. It was
Yeah.
West Ham.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You're always blaming Tottenham for everything.
Yeah. Right. Credit where credit's due to Arsenal. Difficult week. They got the job done. They held on. We was watching the end of the Arsenal game,
Yeah, the box,
and they looked nervous, didn't they? It
wasn't clean.
It wasn't clean. You look at Man City and it just looks flowing, even when do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Arsenal, when you've watched them recently, they've been like that. Apart from the City game where they played all right. But the other games I've seen to watch, they do seem a bit.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't seem right. Does
but
it?
this is the part of the season where they usually fail.
Yeah.
So obviously, in their hearts, they
think it's going to happen
They
again.
think it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
But they're trying their best for it not. So the brand of football or whatever it is out the window. They just need to get over the line. You know? And they needed a response after the last game. They needed it. So however they had to win, they had to do it properly in any way. Because it didn't matter whether it was sexy football or bad football. Get it over the line, get the 3 points on the table.
Who else they got left? Because I think we were saying this might be a slip-up game from Newcastle. Where
Yeah.
was it West Ham they've got as well?
I'll run you through the games left. They got Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, Palace away, Man City, Everton away, Brentford at home. I think all give problems to Man City. Bournemouth away, tough game. Palace at home, and Villa at home. So it's a shootout, right? The goal difference is there. I think Fulham are. I disagree.
If you're Arsenal, you're looking at that, you think, we win all them.
But you should be excited.
West Ham be tough, I reckon.
You should be excited. I think, like, if you want to,
So how did you feel when you was in that position? Have you ever been in that position when it's just a 2-horse race? And,
yeah, excited.
You're excited about it?
Excited, like.
But I don't think they are.
No, like.
They just can't wait for the season to be over and they've won it. But they just think they're taking it game by game.
Do you know when I was a player in these situations, because I act before I think a lot in life, as you see, right?
As you do,
a bit like your drive.
Right, I act before I think a lot in my life, and I played like I like to play. I like to take risks and react and all that. So I think that helped me in these pressure situations. We talked about playing for England, right? And everyone talked about the pressure of playing for England.
No, you were different though.
I didn't pressure, but it helped me in these situations. I was going into the game, and it was almost like the only time I felt pressure in a football was when I had to take a penalty. I was terrible at penalties, right? Some players could zone in. That's when my brain used to go like, but actually like worried about a game.
I think that's your ADHD. That's your ADHD.
No, I don't like being the centre of attention. Like when, do you know what I mean?
I think you love it. You weren't saying that on Saturday.
That's what I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say.
No.
I
love playing. I know. I love playing, right? And I like to do. I love. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I like to do things. I like when I played. I like people loving. I like people liking me watching play. But taking penalties used to frazzle my brain. But I never used to get whether the game was an England game in a World Cup or whether it was a League Cup semi-final. It was always the same nerves for me. So I didn't understand. But
I think that's because with penalties you got longer to think about. When you're on your pitch, you just everything's
like me on the 1v1. So hard. I used to hate it because like me and the goalkeeper.
Your brain starts going.
Shall I lob him to his right? So I had one, I remember, up at Manchester United at Old Trafford, and it was me and De Gea. And I was like, clean through on goal. I was like, oh my God, the whole... The theatre of dreams is watching my dream right now. So I was like, what should I do? What should I do? I'm speaking to myself. It's like an eternity getting towards him, right? And I'm looking at him. I think he's looking at me. And this is where the pressure comes, right? I'm not looking forward to this. But I've got to do something. I'll have to make a move. So I'm there. Do you know what I've done? Just gone through his legs. He was like that, wide open. I says, I'm going to do that. And I just made my mind up and I've done it. And that's where the pressure, that's what you get paid for, right? To handle those moments. Now, let's take it back to Arsenal. It's time now is for them they have to earn their money. They have to earn their money. You're getting paid all that dough for pressure moments like this when it's a 2-horse race and you've got to come out on top. If we don't come out on top, egg in your face. Simple. So where can Arsenal go with this? Now we're going to see the real cojones.
The cojones.
You know when he talks about a story about what he's thinking when he's got the ball? What are you just thinking? Oh, I'm going to score here.
I've got music in my head most of the time. We're talking about I did, it was a sports psychologist. That's right. When I wrote my book and that was...
What do you mean music?
Music.
He's hearing music while he's playing football.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
It's
you
a thing.
got-
It's a thing.
Is it?
It's not just me.
It's a Joe
I've got
Cole
it checked
thing.
out. No, it's not. There's other people.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Joking? You don't know, but apparently there is.
No, apparently the geezer checked it out. He said because he was.
The geezer checked it out.
He said there's
What geezer
when I'm
checked
not all
it
the
out?
time when I was playing at my best.
Yeah.
There was like
So
just
when you never had the music, you weren't playing.
nah.
Best.
It's Liverpool fans probably remember that. Before we go, we're gonna do the poll. Following our argument last week, we ran a poll on socials to see if Max Dowman should go to the World Cup.
Oh.
I'll have a guess which
Is
way
that a
that
poll?
went.
70.
All
do you want
right,
to know?
just because you know they've gone with you.
Have
Well,
they?
if they've got any sense, they would have.
Yeah,
Right.
but do you know what? If we don't win it, do you know what I'll be saying?
Should've
Because we never took Max
down.
Dowman.
We've got to win it.
So
We've
worry about
so
that,
you're saying
mate.
we've got to win
You've
it.
got to win it, mate. You're getting it. You're getting... Go on, what did it say?
You're Arsenal today. You love Arsenal.
Mate, do you
Look
know
at you
what?
in the red,
I
red
didn't.
top.
I wanted a green one, right?
Right.
It's Percival.
Right, okay.
Luke is an Arsenal fan, isn't he?
Right,
so he sent me his.
He's trolling you.
It's nice, mate. It's nice.
He's trolling you.
It is a nice car. Let's get back to this, right?
Go on.
So 75% of the poll said no, which was Carlton, not to bring Max Dowman, and 25% said yes, Bridgey. So seems like most people
We'll go with the sensible option.
Yeah, voting means nothing. Voting means nothing.
Hey.
Right, we were discussing headbutts on last week's show,
Yeah.
and we couldn't remember a proper headbutt on the pitch.
Yeah.
Well, David commented on our YouTube page, and he said, "What about Zidane in the World Cup final? Mate, probably the most famous headbutt.
Have we not?
It wasn't a
thought
headbutt
that?
though, was it?
It was
Wasn't
a
it?
chest
It's
butt.
like a.
It was a chest butt.
It was a chest butt, but he used both his fists as
Yeah.
well. So it was like,
Did he?
yeah, did you see it? It was weird.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
Not
I
like a
don't do
proper
it, no.
bang have that.
Yeah.
It was like, I've never seen it
It
in
was
my
in his
life.
chest, wasn't it?
I've never seen it since.
Yeah, it was like a ball, wasn't it? He's like,
Yeah.
he missed his head and he's gone in
It's
for
gone
his,
like that,
into
bang.
his chest.
What a
Do
man.
you know what, right? It's an iconic
Talking
moment.
about-
We were
Talking
talking
about
about this
headbutts.
earlier, actually,
Yeah.
weren't we? About
Yeah.
like, if you're going to do it,
Do it properly.
you're going to get sent off
Did you
most
see
time.
did
If
you
you
see
do
the
a little
goalkeeper
one.
the
The
other day?
goalkeeper.
You know what? Just go and do it properly.
So talking about headbutts and that,
Yeah.
did you see that Zaragoza goalkeeper?
Yeah.
yeah. Listen, if you haven't seen it, please go online and go and find the red card for the Zaragoza goalkeeper, because when you talk about going all in and getting
Yeah.
sent off properly,
Yeah.
he thought, well, I've got sent off, so I might as well go
He
and do it.
basically-
I
he
might
got
as well
sent
go and do
off
it
for
properly.
Not doing it properly, didn't he? It was a nothing. It was a bit handbag.
So he thought he'd just go and finish the job.
Yeah. So he got sent off and went back and done it properly.
What are you doing there? What is
I really
Mate,
hope.
I rate that. You know when you're off, you might as well go and do it properly.
If you're a bear, be a grizzly one.
Yeah.
Innit? Do you know what I mean?
I rate that.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? I hope he's listened to the podcast and
Oh,
we're in
no,
his head
it's
and he's
funny,
gone, do you
yeah.
know what? Because he could see what's happened with him. He's lost his head.
He's just
He's
thought-
gone off. And I think the fella said something from over there and he's just like,
He said, what? You what?
No, I reckon geezer's just gone, no, I'm going to
No,
do it
let's do it properly.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper, you know,
You're
goalkeepers are strange.
yeah.
Goalkeepers are a strange
Yeah.
bunch. So he's like, let me break this down. So he's
Yeah.
broken it down. He said, all right, I'm off now. So
Yeah.
you're getting it. let's have a trot over and just whack him.
We've all been sent off in our career, right?
Yeah.
We've all been sent off.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
sent
have.
off once.
Yeah, I've been sent off
sent
once,
off,
right?
I've
So
been sent off a few times.
it's a horrible feeling, right?
That walk.
It's the walk of shame. And you go back into the dressing room and you're sitting by yourself and you're just going, please get a result.
Mm.
And it's like, and
I was alright.
I was all right with mine.
was ya?
Yeah, mine was
I should have
unjust.
been sent off.
I shouldn't have been sent off.
Me
either.
too.
It's the ref's fault.
Both of mine were high feet.
What, 2 high feet?
Yeah, 2
You're not
high
allowed
feet.
to do that, Geese.
Mate, I'm higher than everyone. So I'm actually trying to bring the ball down. And I didn't know. It wasn't
Yeah.
malicious. You know?
Okay. Right. But anyway, it's a horrible feeling, isn't it? When you're in there and you're just waiting for the lads to come in. But I'm thinking, if I've seen my goalkeeper do that, and he's already off anyway, I'm thinking, I can't wait to get home and get in there, just speak to him. Just go, Geese, what happened?
What were you thinking? Why did you do that?
You know, it'd be like, I just lost it. I just lost
it,
it.
man.
Yeah.
You did.
Thanks for watching and listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Next week, because there are fixtures on Monday, Chelsea versus Forest and Everton versus Manchester City, we will be recording on the Tuesday and dropping on the Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week. You can watch on YouTube or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Please follow us on all socials, and we'll be back next week.
See you later.
Big
See
up.
ya.